Alright, shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Ba'acham, Ba'dash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone who well, pushing his 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel. And salutations to all you sincere camp out there that are pushing this truth in the right with financial sincerity, risking your life and your freedom to do so. And once again, it's another week of camp. Hebrew Israelites coming in, week out to bring out this gospel of the truth, the gospel of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh. Okay, now today is the 31st of December, 2021, the year of hastening on the coming of the day of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh. So that is the last, this is the last day of the last month, of this year in Esau's kingdom. 2021 is about to go out of the way and going to let go of 2022. So you can expect a lot of things, man, including the end of this Saturnalia season. And you know how these people in the world get during these times where they stay up until midnight, they start blowing out the fireworks, knockouts and everything, making noise just because they went from because they went from 1 hour to the next, okay? And this isn't even the true end of the year, because if the scriptures, according to the scriptures, an average is 100% truth. Okay, the year the year begins in spring, and right now it's what, winter. So this isn't actually the actual end of the year, but these people out here in the world, Esau, Edom, and the like in their own ways. Okay, as the scripture says that he thought to change the times of the seasons. And that is exactly what this devil did. And that's why these people out here are celebrating the end of the year in the winter, because that's a huge. Because that all still goes back to paganism, goes back to Saturnalia, goes back to the whole winter solstice celebration, right? After the biggest, holiday of the season, which is basically your Christmas going into your new year. Okay, now this is the biggest celebration. This is the biggest, period in pagan culture. Okay, going into sacrifices, going into giving of gifts. Okay, going into different rituals that they perform in this time, alright? That's not what I wanted to talk about, because this is bringing us out this whole matter. But since we already are speaking about it, let's just go into this a little bit, because what this devil has done is that he has changed the times, changed the seasons, and brought forth confusion on the earth. So now people will be thinking that, this is how the time should be, that following the dates and the calendar system according to Esau, which of course, the Gregorian calendar that we use currently. I will say this, that it was actually made by Pope Gregory, which was Jake. But doesn't change the fact that he was actually adjusting the Julian calendar, which was made by Julius Caesar, which is an Edomite, okay? So it's just the system of dating that follows the solar cycles, okay? Because this kingdom, okay, the God that you can worship in this kingdom is the sun, alright? The different gods of the sun, the different deities going into the sun. You have your different deities. I'm not going to actually mention any of them, but you should know them and just think of anyone that you can remember, the sun God. And that's basically what you worship in this kingdom. That's why you go to church on a Sunday, okay? Literally the day of the sun, because that was a decree made since the Nicene Council. And a lot of you wacky Christians, you don't even know your own history. You don't know why you do the practices that you do. Okay, that's another important component of the scriptures. Okay, all the mysteries will be revealed. The reason why we do we follow the laws, the reason why we keep the Sabbath, the reason why we do all the customs, the high holy days. There is a reason for everything. Okay, and it is given in the scriptures. The scriptures say that if your child should look up to you and ask you, what is the reason for these things? Why is this? Why do we celebrate this? Why do we do this? You should answer him, and you should know the answer to those questions. But you ask a Christian about the mysteries that they follow, about the religion they follow, about the beliefs they have, they don't even know about it. They can't even give you an answer for that. But it's not just recently that these wacky Christians finally got a response to Jeremiah the 10th chapter. Talking about how Christmas isn't pagan, that they're like, oh no, Christmas isn't pagan because of this and that, and their reasoning is still falling, and okay, That's exactly what these Christians do, you know. When they bring out a priest that cuts them, they go and do their little council, huddle together and try to figure out a way out of it, a way to a way around that precept, try to figure out try to figure out people follow it out to try and calling themselves disproving what that precept is actually bringing out, That's all part of their wickedness. But let me get this first. It's going to be difficult to find. But hold on, let me have this out. Here it is. So now I'm going to read that right now. Finally found it. Here it is. So this is the book of Joshua 22, verse 28, and it reads, Therefore said we, that it shall be, when they should so say to us, or to our generation. Okay, this is it. Yes, like I can't find this. Like I can't find it. But basically, what it's going into is that, there's always, because there's always a reason for all the laws that are given in the scriptures, why you should not, why you should not break these laws, and the reason why you should keep the laws, okay? We keep the Sabbath because it's the last day, the day in which, the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, rested, which of course, the Sabbath is coming in this evening, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, and then the new moon, okay? Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown. And the reason why we use the new moon for the beginning of the month is also part of the scripture. Let me get that one now. I can actually bring out that one. That is the book of Genesis. No, let me get to the physical Bible. Since I actually know where it's, I don't bring out some physical Bible. And let me see, I think it was on the fourth day, and the Most High created the sun and the moon. Here it is. So I'll start from Genesis 1, verse 5. Genesis 1, verse 5. And the Most High called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Okay, and that's why we go, we have this way of measuring our own time as Hebrew Israelites, because according to the scriptures, the end of the day is at sundown, okay? Basically the evening, so sundown to sundown. That's how you calculate the days, not midnight, because in all actuality there's nothing that happens at midnight, I believe moonrise should be around 9-ish, okay? And moonset should be around 3 in the morning, I believe, okay? So they mean that there's no reason for midnight to be the mark of a new day. But the actual mark of a new day is sundown. Once the sun goes down, that's a new day. That's why it's evening to evening. And even those fakers, Jewish, okay, they do the exact same thing. But now let me jump to Genesis 1 verse 14. So this is the book of Genesis 1 verse 14. And the Most High said, let there, and the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years. And that's right, okay, because going to astrology, the moon, the stars, okay, they are used to discern the times, alright, because the different star alignments that come up in different seasons. That's how you have your horoscope, okay, because it's going into these different star alignments that occur, okay, during different times of the month. You have your Aries alignment, you have your Aries and constellation, you have your Scorpio, Cancer, those different kind of things, okay, because the sun and because the stars and the moon and the like, they were all made for measuring time, measuring the seasons, okay. So they're looking up on this in the sky, and even the sun as well. You see the measurement for the day. You have your sun dials, like the name, okay, to know exactly what hour it is in the day, okay. Once it's midday, I think we already discussed it before now. But still already discussed it before now. You don't have to stay here.
I don't know, because the thing is too much. Every time we go to the last episode, here they meet.
And if they told you no place, I'll just go to that place.
I don't know what you said.
Okay.
I put this to happen in here.
Thank you.
Go back. You and I need to back this one. Call here the job.
If you just have to do
I didn't call you that day, right? I let you say, the video, everything here. I mean, maybe I shall leave the other day.
I mean,
But I don't know that you said, because I keep saying, don't let the people here every year, they clear. Because I know I don't like anybody to run here anyhow.
Okay. No, we're talking to another piece now.
No, I'm not saying no come, but I was saying, I just saying another person.
Okay.
Yeah. But I can do what you do. I just saying,
No problem.
I just saying,
Okay.
That's why I do there. I don't know now.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Thank you, bro.
They carry me and say, you know, people say, take some trouble. After grabbing the way that fish that you come out to come and then I see it again.
Just a minute in that day. No.
Okay, today where I see baby, you can say, okay, take this one.
Oh, yeah.
Take back. Because we have the man.
I won't be in the
video. After going that day when the video finish, and the fact that here the baby control here, just like control here, the secure here, in here. I don't say like this, I just say I know you, I know I'm going to play with you to preach. I just say now, around
maybe next year. We're not in Nigeria like that now. That's what I need to do. Yeah, no. I'm not even here,
you say I don't say I see this in I will don't leave that gate. Give your hand, say, well done. Anybody was a dog for here. I make a like that. That's the way it comes out. When you come to do it, when you come to do it, when you come to drive here, I come drive there. No. Because people they come to small streets. You good? That's why I don't do that.
No, I don't already enter your hand. Enter your hand now. Okay, no problem. It's a simple misunderstanding. Okay, so let me go back to what I was talking about. So, that was just a simple misunderstanding. But anyway, let's go back to what I was talking about. Genesis 1 verse 14. And the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, and for days and years. Okay? And that's basically what I was going into, with the sun and the moon, the stars. I used to measure the time, I used to measure the season, but the moon, okay, it's actually used to measure the days and the years, not the sun. The sun is used to measure the hours, okay, especially during the day, when the sun is actually out. So let me go to this as well. You know, and you already know what I want to get. That wisdom of Solomon going into the moon, the lunar cycles. I believe that wisdom of Solomon. It's okay. It's Ecclesiasticus 43. Okay. Ecclesiasticus 43. I want to start from verse 5. Ecclesiasticus 43 verse 5. Great is Yahweh that made it, and at his commandment runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feasts, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name. And if you go into the etymology of the word month, it actually means moon, okay? Because the month, okay, the true beginning of the month and the true ending of the month is decided by the moon, the lunar cycle. That is the correct way to measure the times. Continuing on. Increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, and ornaments, giving light in the highest places of Yahweh. And that's basically going into what the moon, like I said, time and seasons, okay? And the times that we're in right now, I'm talking about the dates, not in the spirit, rather in the dates. It's not the end of the year just yet, okay? Because you still have to go through the spring, I think it's how do they go? Spring, I don't live in the West, so I don't really know these different seasons, but I think you still have winter then fall before spring actually starts, okay? So you still have more seasons to go through before you actually get to spring, and that spring is actually the beginning of the month, okay? So the most time created these heavenly bodies are those ones to use to, okay, to use to measure the times in righteousness. But now Israel has gone on because now he's no longer following the lunar calendar, but he's following a heliocentric calendar, because that is basically what they call it, which of course goes into sun worship, okay? But that's beside the point. Now that's not anything I'm going to go into right now. So, okay, there you have it, This time, the time and the seasons are off in this kingdom. So let me get this as well.
because you have to perceive the viewers of the work yourself. You know what you do for you. So some of them willing to go here to make noise. That makes the song. Yeah.
So now this is the book of Isaiah 54 verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Okay, that's going into Esau Edom, how he has completely subverted and changed everything in this kingdom. And I meditated recently about how right now nobody really knows anything about. Nobody really goes too deep into the history. Before the rise of the Greco-Roman Empire. Okay, and nobody actually knows who they are, because all the names that these ancient kingdoms had, the names that the Most High had given them, the names that they had given to themselves, were all changed by Esau Edom. Because you go into any kingdom right now, you go into any historical, you go into all the people right now, all of them don't have their ancient names anymore. Even for example, Media, for example, Elamites, okay, from the Persian side, I believe that word Persian is a Greek word. And even the Carmenians, that's also one of the terms that they use for the Persians. I believe that those are actually Greek words. What I want to do is I want to check it right now in the dictionary, okay? No, that's that. What this devil does is that it brings confusion on the earth. It causes confusion on the earth. And that's basically it. Okay, Persia. It's Persia. Okay. What is that? What is that one to use? Actually, the word Persia is actually a Greek word. Okay, and the word is Persia from Old Greek. Okay. So basically, it's actually a Greek word, and the former term referring to Iran in the west, Persia proper, Persis, the land of the ancient Persians, according to modern-day Fars province in southwestern Iran. So even the word Persia is still a Greek word, because these Greeks, as soon as they came in, they called the lands after their own names. They changed the names of all these people, and they did so to hide their own true nationality by changing the names of other people's nationality. Okay, so now nobody knows who the Edomites are anymore. Nobody knows all these ancient kingdoms, all these kingdoms that were set up before the Greco-Roman Empire. Nobody actually knows their names, and nobody actually knows what kingdom they belong to, because this is what this devil does. This is why in the book of First Maccabees it tells you that as soon as Alexander the Greek came into power, the wickedness multiplied on the earth, and the reason for that is because confusion, okay, multiplied on the earth, because these devils, that's the only thing they can do. The only thing they can do is spread confusion, okay? Now people are confused about the days, confused about the times, confused about what a holy day, okay, a holiday actually is. Because this winter solstice, this thing you are celebrating right now, with Christmas going into New Year, this is not a holiday, man. This is a ritual, okay? This is what that's exactly what this is. This is a ritual. And if people think that this is a holy day, this is a holy day, man. The Sabbath is a holy day, okay? The new moon that's coming up is a holy day, okay? And this is actually the spirit right now, because Christmas was on a Sabbath, okay? And now the New Year is also on the Sabbath as well. And you have hundreds upon millions of jakes, okay? They will be polluting the Sabbath, okay? They will be, what I'm looking for, that's what I'm looking for right now. Making the Sabbath day unholy, basically, defiling the Sabbath day, okay? So the Most High is going to bring judgment on you people, man. Because basically, defiling and polluting the Sabbath day is a sin unto death, okay? So what the Most High is doing with this holy day is basically, okay, you're basically using your own actions to dig your graves for you. That's exactly what you people are doing, sealing your faith by celebrating these pagan rituals, okay, Saturnalia, going into the new year. And the funny thing is that if I remember correctly, the new year, the celebrations involved in the new year also involve, I can't remember. They are not. I just leave it at that because I'm not really sure about it. Okay. Yeah, a lot of things is going on right now. That guy just came around. It's actually the cleaner of this place that I'm only camping right now. And we just you just said this misunderstanding. I thought I was somebody else. Okay. I'm actually allowed to stand here and teach, but you know what the teacher said, man. Now when the man's way is pleased the most time, that he maketh even his enemies, to be at peace with him. Okay. So yeah, just a little misunderstanding, nothing to worry about too much, But you know how Jake is here, man. Get real possessive and carnal over any small thing, especially here in Nigeria. It's difficult to find a good place to just hold your camp, man. Most of the places that you go to, but I don't really want to go into it. But you know how it is the result is in this third world country, man. Truly as well, but through the spirit, you have actually your try already the place for me to actually go by the whole posting. But yeah, okay. Not really going to go too much into the New Year's history since I don't really know much about it. But let me just go into what I actually have for today, okay? This is the wrong, why you people out there in the world, you are following the wrong calendar, especially you Jakes, okay? Because like I always say, the heathen, they can do whatever the hell they like. But you Israelites, you two says, they are following the wrong calendar. Because this isn't the way, this isn't the way that the season should be ordered, okay? This isn't the way that, because if you check, man, and that's the main thing right there, okay? Living the Babylonian mindset, that's the main thing that we're trying to force our people to understand. We're trying to teach our people, okay? Because we're not being forced with this thing. If a nigga can't get it, we're moving on, If a man, let me get that piece, let me get that piece. Let me not put it. I believe if a man is still a heretic as the third admonishment, then if a man is still a heretic as the third admonishment. Here it is. Titus 3 verse 10. Titus 3 verse 10. A man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition rejects, knowing that he that is such is subverted and sinneth, being condemned of himself. Okay, subverted meaning to be turned around. Okay, and basically what this is going into is that what these jakes out here, they don't want to get these tutors out here, they don't want to get it by moving on. Okay, the reason why we're out here on the highways and byways is is because of prophecy. It's because we are commanded to do so by a Hashmi or Shai. Because get this, okay, only the Israelites can receive salvation. But that doesn't mean that the Most High did not say this, here are all the elect, go and preach unto them personally, but don't preach this word to anybody else. We are prophets to the nations, alright? We're not just a prophet, we're not just prophets to the Israelites only, but a prophet to the nations. And let me get that in the book of Jeremiah, the first chapter. Okay. Jeremiah, which of course I never even actually mentioned this, but my name actually goes back to Jeremiah in the Hebrew, Jeremiah. But it's like an English name, My actual first name is something different, so that's why I actually use the name Abawan. Okay. But anyway, going into this, Jeremiah 1 verse 4, and it reads, Then the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Okay, and that's basically the role that the men of the Lord have in this truth. We are prophets unto the nations. Okay, so the Most High already sanctified us. Sanctify meaning to make holy. And he had ordained us, giving us a command, giving us a role, a lot, okay? The spirits of the prophets are subject unto the prophets, okay? Giving us a position to preach this word, to preach this gospel to the nations, okay? But so what? We are preaching this word to the nations. All the nations are to share this gospel. They are to know about the Hebrew Israelites. They are to know about us going out to highways and byways and pushing this truth. They are to know about the ministry that we are teaching. But guess what? Only the elect of the nation of Israel can receive what we are actually teaching. Okay? And that's why we're out here, bringing out this work. We're doing these sit downs, we're posting on YouTube, making the videos public, okay, so that everybody can hear it. Being, made jest of, made light of by you hidden out here. You're thinking that, these dumb niggas just coming out here pushing this word. But yeah, we're telling you your judgment, okay? Because the Most High is not bringing mercy to you hidden, but because to put you in slavery. Alright, that's your judgment right there. And we're giving you this judgment out. We are bringing this judgment out to you because we are heralds of Yahawashi, okay? We are, basically we are the heralds of Yahawashi for his second coming to warn the earth, to warn our people, specifically the elect, and to remind them, okay, of what is coming on the earth. The second coming of our Lord Yahawashi, bring out that destruction, that judgment upon the people out here, many people out here, and he will deliver his elect. Because that's what he was written of in the scriptures. But going back to verse 9, you are commanded by Yahawashi to come out to these highways and byways to preach unto the people, okay? Speak unto the ears of my people with word of prophecy, okay? Lift up your voice like a trumpet. And I believe that is Isaiah the first chapter, okay? I'm not really sure, okay? Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Okay, and show my people their sin and the house of Israel their transgressions. Yet they shall seek me early, okay? Here it is. Isaiah 58 verse 1. Isaiah 58 verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me early, it's like they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, and forsook not the ordinance of their power. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to the Most High. And this is speaking of the elect. So the Most High has told us that what? Go to the house of Jacob. Go to the house of Israel. Show my people their transgressions. And the people of the Most High this time are the elect. Okay? So the Most High is giving a commandment to Isaiah, okay, that go and speak unto the elect. Because right now we are speaking. But the words that we are speaking, okay, first and foremost, as it is written, they aren't profitable to those that are in the world. But more importantly, these people out here in the world, they're not saying what we are saying, You might go out to highways and byways, speak a little bit, the people out there will hear you. But by the time they reach their houses, okay, they reach their destinations, they completely forget that you exist, forget what you said. But the elect, the spirit in them hears this word and holds onto it, okay? And the word draws them to this truth. And now they are hearing the truth, okay? They are being shown their transgressions, they are being shown their transgressions, being shown the error of their ways, and they can repent and seek after the Hawabashi or Shai. And that is basically our role in this truth. My throat is getting a little dry. But anyway, keep on going, okay? So yeah, that's about it, This is the last day of 2021, okay? And now we're going to 2022, Get ready to see all hell break loose, okay? And the most time, because it is already the case right now, but even more so in 2022, the most time will be our strength, man, because you look at these news reports, look at the things that are going on the earth, and you can see that, man, Esau is getting ready, Edom is getting ready to throw down, okay? Revelation 12 verse 12 will be coming, and even more so, it will be coming in a big way. You never know what these devils could do, or what decree they could pass come this January. Alright, but we know that, whatever decree they pass, they won't affect us, okay? They won't affect the elect. The Most High will still be there to defend his elect. Two people in the world that should be worried, man. Because all the things that we've been prophesying about, the 4 kinds the Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will appoint unto you people. It's coming real soon, okay? The famine, the war, the pestilence, and the teeth of wild beasts, the 4 plagues of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. It's coming, alright? So anyway, so let's go into what I actually wanted to speak about today. Going into this precept right here, I watched a recent video about 4P, and that nigga, that adulterous nigga, because that's exactly what it was. The way that he was talking about another man's wife, this is the kingdom that we are living in right now. This is the society that we are living in right now, where people are proud, man. And just before I came up to this camp, when I was coming out here, I was watching the recent video the Elder Malcolm posted, that give up on these bad bitches, man. You're not going to see them in the kingdom. Okay, and I was great, that you see, I saw that title, and that was basically one of those titles that you see that you're like, oh, I got to watch this video. And I fell for that, man. But that's beside the point. Okay, because these people out here, man, this is what they do. Okay? So this is the book of Isaiah 3, verse 9. The shew of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they are rewarded evil unto themselves. And that's right, because these people out here, they think that, because they think that, being a hoe, being a whore, being a harlot, being a bad bitch, being a nigger is a great thing, They are glorifying this whole nigger lifestyle that Jake is living out here. Niggers and negresses, man. They are glorifying this lifestyle. You see people talking about how they are gangster. People talking about how glorifying adultery, glorifying drug use, glorifying wickedness, because the scripture says that folly is set in great dignity in this kingdom. And I'm watching that video, man, you see how proud these women are of their wickedness, of being complete degenerates, okay? Even though the scriptures tell you that thou shalt not make a whore, okay, out of the daughters of Zion, where they're talking about who has given the most head, who eats ass the most, who are a train runner, that all kinds of wickedness, man. And take in this kingdom, especially you women, okay, and even you men as well, because let's not forget about the main focus of this video. That nigga from 4P, okay, with the dreads and everything, talking about how another I don't even want to go into it, man. All kinds of wickedness, okay? How can you see those kind of things about another man's wife? But since that adulterous mindset that people are in, that Mr. Steal your girl's spirit, you think that, just because you can steal another man's woman, okay? Another man's property, that makes you some kind of alpha male, some kind of bigger man, because you stole another man's property, which of course is the complete opposite, because it has even been, because everybody knows that the easiest woman to get is one that already has a man, okay? They're not getting as much attention as these single women out here. And these women, they are already wicked as hell. So they will happily cheat on whatever spouse that they are with, Even the scriptures goes into this. Even at the time where adultery was punishable by death, you still had enough adulterous women for the scriptures to say this, okay? So this is the book of Proverbs 30, verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. Okay, that's basically it right there. And the same with these adulterous men. You come out here, you take another man's wife, and you think that, and you think that you got it, that you are the biggest alpha male out there. Man, but anyway, let me just read this verse before I say anything else. Proverbs 6, verse 32. But whoso committed adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. And that's right. Even if you apologize right now, even if you say, you messed up, you shouldn't have said all that, it's already been done. Because him that lusted after a woman in his heart has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And that's still counted as a sin. That's basically what you did. You looked at another man's wife and you're like, oh, she's going to give me the cat when I'm in the cat, trying to act all smart, trying to be like a poet with all that. But man, this is the state of this kingdom. And I'm just using that as an example. Okay, that Jacob is out here bringing that nigger spirit, okay? That nigger black, that nigger black culture mindset into this truth. And you see it with a lot of these camps, man, especially the ISUPK. You are bringing this carnal spirits into the truth, bringing all kinds of evil, bringing your pride, bringing pride, bringing materialism, bringing covetousness, vanity, okay, all the traits that Esau Edom has beaten into you people, okay, with this black culture, with this nigger mindset, you are bringing all that into this truth. When the scriptures clearly tell you, and this shows you, man, that this is that a lot of these Israelite camps, they're not fully, persuaded in their minds, okay, of Yahweh Shimi or Shai. Because if they were, they will become a new man. They will put away all those things that they did in the past, the niggas that they were in the past, okay. The whole black culture mindset, okay, that they had in the past. They will put all those things away and focus on this truth, focus on being a new man, a pure Israelite man, alright? Because you think a man of Israel would come out, with a picture of another man's wife and be doing okay. Why would you even have a picture of another man's wife in your possession? Alright? If it was if it was somebody that was single, still living with our father, still under our father, we wouldn't understand that it's just a normal thing about being a man. But another man's wife, and then going into all this, making all these adulterous comments about her at the end of the day. And you niggas, man, the most are going to destroy all you people, man. The most are going to destroy all of you. And the dude that actually did that, I've forgotten his name, it isn't even important. The most has basically already put you to death, okay? Has already condemned you through your actions, okay? Because even the scriptures tell you, okay, put away the old man, and come in the newness of this truth. In other words, the newness of Yahweh Shai. So let me get some precepts going into that. Right, this is it right here. Ephesians 4 verse 22. So okay, hold on. Ephesians 4 verse 20. I have to go up a little bit, to get the main context. Okay, Ephesians 4 verse 20. But ye have not so learned Hamashiach, if so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yahweh Shai, that he put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness. Alright? That's basically what we should be doing, what we should be doing in this truth. Putting away the old man, any spirit, all the spirits and the demons that were on you, all the different sins and the different things that you are doing that was going off according to the scriptures, you put all that away. And then you change your mindset, you change the way you think, and you come into this truth, you come into the newness, understanding, That's why the scriptures say you have to come into this thing, being born again, come into this thing as a child, okay? No pride, okay? No pride, no covetousness, no greed in this truth, man. Because you have a lot of people that bring pride into this truth, and then when they get rebuked, when they get caught by brothers, they start getting all puffed up, How can you talk to me that way? Do you know who I am? That kind of thing, man. You see Jake do that a lot. You see Jake do that a lot. When Jake gets into a fight, that's when they start going, you know who I am, what you got, what you got, where's your money at, what kind of, they start getting at each other, they start getting carnal with each other. That's why the Bulldogs have to do that whole nigga movement thing, man, because Jake will get pissed off and get ready to fight another Jake for completely no reason, okay? But then you allow these other nations to walk all over you. But niggas are only niggas when they are in front of other niggas, okay? Jake will only want to get carnal and get act all tough when they are in front of another nigga, you know? Because these people out here in the world, you won't see them do that kind of thing with an Edomite or with somebody from another nation, okay? But we people, you know, as the scripture says, these are the filthy conversations the scriptures are talking about. When the scripture says that which entereth a man, as long as it is lawful, go into the fruit. Because you know, these Christians will come and say, see, it says right here that which entereth a man cannot defile him. So now we can eat whatever food we want to eat now. And that's what the scripture is going into now. You know, but that's not what that scripture is going into. When it talks about what is entering a man, it's talking about what? Let me go to that. This is it right here. Mark 7 verse 14. And when he had called all the people unto him, he said unto them, hearken unto me every one of you, and understand. There is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him, but the things which come out of him, those are they that defile the man. Okay? So nothing from without that enters into. In other words, nothing that you eat as long as it is lawful, okay? Because you have to remember, you know, because the unlawful meat, so this is one of those foregone conclusions. Because normally, if you are an Israelite, it should already be clear that you're not eating pork, you're not messing with pork, okay? You're keeping the Sabbath, you're doing all the laws, statutes, and commandments for your house, your child. You're wearing the fringes. It's already a foregone conclusion because you didn't have Jake during the time of your Hawashai. Okay, especially Jake that was living in Judea, that was eating abominable food. So now when Yahushua was speaking, whatsoever that entered into a man cannot defile him. He was of course talking about, you know, going into the foods that he eats, okay? And of course, more importantly, the things that he hears, you know, what the doctrines and the philosophies that he digests, because this, as the scripture says, there is no enchantment against Jacob. It's not that we are in this truth, are blends of this truth. Whatever Esau says, whatever witchcraft he uses, whatever spells he casts on you to try to deceive you, to try to corrupt you, to try to make you to separate you from your Shimi or Shai, because we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. None of those things will work, okay? Because those enchantments no longer have effect on us, because we are no longer under the control of the world. We are no longer under the world. We are under our Lord Yahushua. And our Lord Yahushua will protect us from these doctrines that these devils are pushing out. Okay? This confusion that is out here in the world. But the things that go out of a man, now, in other words, the words you speak now, you know, what are you saying to the people? What are you telling your congregation, especially if you are a leader with the flock? What example are you putting forth? What example are you showing forth? You know, are you showing forth examples of righteousness? All right, because the reason why I'm out here, the reason why I go into this truth, why I bring out 100% truth, you know, speak with boldness, is because of the elders and the apostles of great wisdom that have put up forth that example, okay? That say, oh, you have to do 3 videos a week, and then they do, you know, 2 videos a day. They say, oh, you have to be out here on the highways and byways every week, and unfailingly every week they are out there, you know, going into it, bringing it out, causing out this kingdom, you know. They say you have to keep the Sabbath, and unfailingly they do keep the high holy days, and you see their different, you know, videos going into the high holy days, you know. These are the examples they follow. These those are the men that were following, you know. You see, you have to wear the fringes when you come out to camp. And guess what I'm wearing right now? Alright? That's basically how we do it, you know. By following the example of the others and the apostles, you know, I'm watching their video and I'm watching how they talk, how they bring out precepts. I'm trying to understand and follow that way as well, because my method of teaching, okay, my method of coming out here and bringing out precepts, I learned that from the apostles. I learned that from the elders when they did it as well. Because when I'm watching camp, I mean, I'm not just watching as, you know, I'm watching that as a student, okay, trying to learn, okay. So they are watching their mannerisms, the way they talk about things, okay, the way that they go into the scriptures, go into the Hebrew, go into the Greek, go into the DuckDuckGo or the Google, okay, and you're following that as well, and you're copying that, you know, you're trying to be exactly like that, okay, so that you can edify better, right? Because there's no argument out there that, you know, one of the most edifying lessons you can watch in this truth, the most edifying things you can watch in this truth, is one of the apostles' videos, man, because, you know, they really go into it, they show that they are on a completely different level in terms of this truth, okay? We are at basically the point, you know, what comes out of a man, in other words, his speech, what he's teaching, and even his actions as well. Because your actions are still something that is coming out of you, because it's not just going into your words, because actions speak louder than words, okay? So now your actions as well, how you act, how you carry yourself, and the things you say and you do, okay? If a nigga that comes out here with his head covered, or comes out here with dreads on his head, or comes out here with a smooth shaved face, and talking about all praise, glory, and honor to your how about you, know, bring out, you know, thinking about how, you know, doing camp and doing videos. Nobody is going to listen to you, man. None of the elect are going to take you seriously. Because first and foremost, you're not coming out here with the appearance of a man of the Lord, okay? Coming out here with, you know, without anyhow nigger spirits, you know, clean shaven, smooth faced, like all these wacky-tacky Christians out here, thinking that you can break down this truth, man. Once you have that appearance, it's clear that the Most High is not dealing with you, okay? Because first and foremost, you know, the scripture says that you have to get, you know, and let me get that. Get you up like a man, okay? So yeah, this is the book of Job 40 verse 7. Okay, Job 40 verse 6. Then answered Yahweh unto Job out of the whirlwind and said, Get up thy loins now like a man. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. And that's right, okay? And that doesn't just mean, oh, put your pants up, you know. Why are you sagging? Because it's not manly to sag. It also means that what? You have to have the appearance of a man, okay? Because a man isn't out here walking around with a smooth face, you know. You have to have your beard going on, especially if you're an Israelite. Or if you can't be coming out here talking about, you know, I'm a man. But you're not acting, you know, masculine in any way. Okay, they bring out the rape doctrine, you're getting all bugged out. They tell you that, oh, women can't speak in the church, and you're getting all bugged out. So they're talking about, oh, the black woman is a queen, you know, you need to put more respect on the black woman, you know, this and that. Alright? Even though you are the head, even though that the Most High ordained you to be the. But here they're out here talking about, oh, we need to respect the woman, we need to do this and that, you know, being a complete simp and serving the woman. Especially the nigger woman, and the more, you know, but anyway, that's beside the point, man. These other camps, you know, they are showing why they are not the men of the Lord. They are showing why they don't have the 100% truth through their actions. Because I was thinking of, I don't know if it was Deacon Sikari was, you know, because they are the ones that usually put up all these quote-unquote truth music videos, okay? One of the brothers put it up in the group chat where one of these jakes was rapping about how about she or shy, while this nigger woman, okay, with tattoos was feeding him fruit, okay? And that shows the low level Israelites are on, man. Actually, you know, and it's funny that big of all people is saying that, but that's just the truth, man, because you Israelite comes up making me look like some kind of, you know, super master teacher right now, okay? Then I'm looking at you and seeing the low level that you're on. So you have to say and speak some things, you know. It's June! Eat the microchip! That kind of thing, okay? And, you know, making me that I haven't even been in this trip about a year. I'm barely even a baby in this trip, and I'm making me look like some kind of master teacher. You're talking about how you're on a low level, man. But this is ridiculous, you know. The way that our people, especially leaders of men, and that's the thing that gets you right there. Men that have congregations, that have people, you know, but it's mostly women, of course, that have people looking up to them and learning from them, and then you conduct yourself in this manner, okay? Where we talk about how you're going to commit adultery, okay? They are bragging about it, you know, and then on the other hand, you have someone just sitting there listening to this nigga brag about committing adultery and not doing anything about it, you know. Any normal Jake, if it was a Jake, like you already know that you'll be cussing that dude out, rebuking him and talking about what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you saying such nonsense, man? Because that's exactly what that dude was doing, man. All kinds of wickedness was coming out of his mouth. All kinds of defiled speech, okay, was coming out of his mouth and nobody said anything. But anyway, man, you know, that's the point has been made. You Jakes are going to get put to death for this, okay? Because, you know, the Jakes, you think they can just see whatever, you know, Jakes take things like they can just say and do whatever they want and come out consequence free, you know. There's no such thing as accountability or consequences for our people, man. It's like my throat is really dry, you know. But anyway, I'll keep going on, you know. I don't know what is going on, man. This is basic, I don't know how to speak, you know. But anyway, I'll keep on going on, you know. Let me ask you something else to go into. Let's say a random topic, okay? So, basically, let's see. I'm still thinking of something. You know, let me just quickly just look through my I'll look through my you know, notes and see if I can just go into something, you know. Finding difficult to find what to go into, you have to bear it in Slovakia. Let me keep going. You know, just go into something. Let me just speak boldly, you know, just go through the spirit, okay? Because, yeah, so we are speaking about right now, you know, the time that we're coming into, right, 2022, man. All kinds of hell is getting ready to break loose, and it's getting ready to break loose, and that's the time that we're coming into right now. You know, because right, you're going to be, you know, because people out here come midnight, okay? Come late night, 10, 11, 12, right? 1, 2, 3, early in the morning, you know, and then from late in the night to early in the morning, these people out here in the world, and you two states as well. I'm going to be out there talking about let's celebrate, okay? Yeah, let's celebrate the new year. Let's celebrate the new year coming in, okay? But you don't even know what this devil has planned for you this new year, okay? Because this, you know. Now let me just get it. Let me just get this. So this is right here. John chapter 10, verse 10, and it reads, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they may have life, and that they may have it more abundantly. And that's the spirit that Lord Yahushua is coming in. Okay, the spirit of bringing life to the elect, bringing life to the nation of Israel alone. Foregone conclusion, okay? In other words, something that should be already clear, plain upon tables, clear as day. So let me do this first. I know that I've been meditating on that, so that's basically that's probably what I'm even going to. But let me just focus on this first, okay? Man, there's never any data in this place. No network in this place. And it's not even that far from this I usually have camping. I don't even understand what's going on. But anyway, yeah. So basically the thief, and that's going into the devil, Esau Edom. His plans for you in this kingdom, man, going into the book of Micah, the second chapter as well, located of course. His plans are for death and destruction, depopulation, okay? That's basically the agenda that the devils are working with, okay? Especially for you Israelites. So let me get this first. The book of Micah, the second chapter. And then of course we jump into Psalms 83, which of course should be one of those eye-opening precepts like, oh, Yahweh be with us, if not we're in trouble, okay? So yeah, the book of Micah, chapter 2. Let me get this. Micah 2, and it reads, woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And that's right. As celebrating going into 2022, we are going into another year in this wicked society. Another year in the society of them that devise evil, work wickedness, and basically oppress you in your house and in your heritage, okay? Because right now, in Australia and in Europe, come 2022, what do you think will happen to those that refuse the NWO, the New World Agenda, okay? What do you think will happen to those that refuse to take this juice? Babylon the Great as well, and even here in Africa, because they are having that discussion right now. They are actually debating whether to make this thing mandatory or not here in Africa as well. So what do you think is coming in 2022? To all those that don't want to be a part of Esau's Edom society, to all those that want to reject this beast system. But of course, those are the people that are celebrating. They've already embraced the beast system. They're already here 100% only for it, But the question still stands. What do you think will happen, man? This devil will come down on you without great wrath that the scriptures are warning you about. So yeah, let's go to Psalms the 83rd chapter. So this is the book of Psalms 83, and I'll start from verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And you go into the people that actually did this, okay? Who is involved in this? who are the ones that are planning to cut off the nation of Israel, and it goes into them. Edom, Moab, Ishmael, Ham, Ammon, not Amalek, okay, Ammon, okay. All the nations are confederate against you people, okay? Okay, against you Israelites. They go into their UN general meetings and they talk about how we can bring down these people, how we can keep them down, keep them oppressed, okay? Keep them continuously under our feet. Because you as a Jake, you go into all these nations. You know, Jake experiences racism in all the kingdoms, alright? Jake experiences oppression in all the kingdoms, okay? You know, not, of course, the worst of the worst is Babylon the Great, and these other Western societies controlled by Edomites. But Jake still experiences oppression all over the place. Now, people are being, people are being oppressed, being discriminated against, being, basically, they are just being oppressed all over the earth, okay? But that time is coming to an end as well. But now you are trusting in a kingdom, trusting in a society, as the scripture says, who wants them that go down to Egypt, that trust in Pharaoh, that trust in the God of Egypt. Okay, let me get to that precept. Because this is basically, man, this is basically what is about to happen to you. So yeah, I should have done something before I came to camp, man. Always forget to stay hydrated. Anyway. So this is the book of Isaiah 36, verse 6, and it reads, Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. Okay? So yeah, basically it, man. At the end of the day, these devils will stab you in the back, okay? They might sing, as just said, with fair speeches, okay? Let me get that piece as well. They deceive the heart of the simple. Hold on, so okay, let me just bring it up so I can continue into what I was saying. This is right here. Romans 16, verse 18. For they that are such serve not our Lord, our Shai HaMashiach, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the heart of the simple. So it's not just false prophets looking for filthy lucre, looking for gain. It's also Israel as well, deceiving Jake, okay? Telling you that, this thing has a 90% efficiency rate, if you take it, you're going to be cured. Then now it's, if you take it, it will be more difficult for you to get the thing. Then now it's, if you take it, you're going to be protected even if you get the thing, your experience will be worse. And now it's, the thing that you took isn't enough. You have to get more, double more, triple more, DLC content, that kind of thing, man. And you see how these devils keep moving the goalposts. Eventually to be, you already know what it is, man. I can't say it right now because YouTube, whenever you bring the the mark of the child stigma up and bring it up with the thing, okay? Then they start talking about, that's medical misinformation. That's medical misinformation. Even though news articles are going into it, they are preparing to bring up the mark of the child size stigma as confirmation that you have the thing. But instead they will be like, that's medical misinformation. Except it's not, okay? Here in the name of the Lord, I'm not a doctor. I don't think that there's any ACAM that actually graduated from medical school and is a certified medical professional according to Israel Edom's kingdom. But here we are, giving you information information about, giving you medical information, that are giving you the truth about what is going on in this medical field right now, concerning a thing. And concerning these various diseases, concerning these various diseases, concerning these various diseases, okay, you know, the stammerer in speech and another kind of thing. But yeah, so how are we that in this truth? Hold on, slack here. So how are we that in this truth? That don't have any knowledge in any medical field, able to speak about these things so boldly and be right about them, you know, to tell you about exactly what is going to come and it comes. It's true. It's prophecy. It's prophecy, man. Because prophecy goes into every single field on this earth, you know. We are getting the 411, we're getting the news source straight from the creator of the universe, and it's going into every topic, every subject in this earth, you know. Geopolitics, the social, political issues, especially the ones that go on in Babylon the Great, okay? Going into medicine as well, even going into law. The apostles always going to videos bringing out different laws that each of them follows, okay? Or different laws that are being followed in this society. And showing you how you're not even under the constitution. Technically, you're under maritime law if you're living in Babylon the Great, okay? The other Malcolm brings that out a lot. You know, there are other apostles also go into that, you know. And it shows you, man, this is a wicked society, you know. And even the scriptures tell you that this is a society where wrongful judgment proceeded constantly, you know. Because just recently, you know, going into the news articles, I recently just saw, I think it was just like this morning or late at night that Ghislaine Maxwell, alright, Epstein's, you know, partner was just found guilty. This trial has been going on for months. Evidence has come out, enough evidence to put a regular nigga, a regular Jake like, you know, you and me, alright, if you are a Jake watching this, enough evidence to put you in prison, okay, forever, to put you under the prison. More than enough evidence. No, you said it doesn't even need evidence to throw Jake under the prison. But yes, enough evidence has come out against this Mike Maxwell. Okay? But they are just now convicting her. She's just now being found guilty. And I'm sure that if I listen to the hearing, listen to the proceeding, you know, it would be, oh, she was found guilty on this, found guilty on this, found guilty on this, found guilty on this. I don't even know what her sentencing is yet. I doubt I will even going as far as to give her a sentencing yet, you know. And who knows, you know, it may end up just like it did with Epstein, you know, being that as soon as she goes into prison, immediately you hear about a suicide, okay, because we know that a lot of these elites are being involved in that. And the reason why these elites are so interested in children so much, okay, in underage minors so much, is because of, you know, the pagan rituals that we always talk about, especially during this Christmas. A lot of kids go missing during this Christmas, man, this Christmas season. A lot of children go missing, a lot of people are reported missing. Okay, a lot of things are happening on the left-hand side during this Christmas season. Okay, or rather I should say during this winter solstice season. But see people out there want to be like, oh, this isn't pagan, you know. That Christmas tree is just something that just recently started happening. So Jeremiah 10 verse 2 can't be thinking about that, you know. It was the Germans that brought it in, you know. It started in the Middle Ages with the English, you know. Christmas is a new thing, you know. The Lord was conceived on March and he was born on December. That's a new doctrine that these Christians are pushing. Alright, since they're saying that, oh, the Lord wasn't actually born on spring, but rather he was conceived on, you know, in spring. And then 9 months later being Christmas, you know, which of course, you know, once again, the Christians are off in their mouth, because 9 months later is not December, it's January, alright? Because if you are conceived, the first month is April, second month is May, third month June, fourth month July, fifth month August, sixth month September, okay? Seventh month October, eighth month November, the ninth month. Okay. It's correct. It's correct. All right. So because that's what they are saying. Oh, that was conceived on March. Therefore, you know, he was born December. So that's why we see that December 25th is the birth of their, JC, which of course is going off because from the evidence presented in the scriptures, there's no way the Lord could have been born on December. And even Christian scholars say the same thing. Okay. But even knowing this, even knowing the pagan origins of Christmas, and that's the reason why the scriptures say, them that know to do righteousness and do it not, it is counted unto them as sin. Because a lot of our people, alright, James 4 verse 17. Therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Alright, I'm sorry for the pauses, but now I have to calm down a little bit man, because my throat is really getting dry and it's getting even harder and harder to speak. Okay, so I have to calm down a little bit before I just go into something else. But yeah, a lot of our people, they know what to do. They know the right thing, they know the laws, and they know to keep the laws. They know the laws are still in effect. But they still refuse to do it. They still refuse to do the correct thing. They know what the right thing to do is, but they still refuse to do it. You preach to them, you tell them that, oh, you know that, doing it, you know that, oh, eating pork is a sin, but it's a sin, brother. Okay? The Sabbath is on a new moon. You know that, chewing your fringe, you should have your head uncovered when you are in the camp. Okay? They know that those things are, they know what is lawful and what is going on. They know the law, but they still refuse to follow that law. Okay? Because of wickedness, man. Because two-thirds of our people, no matter how hard they try, they can't come into this thing. Okay? If you're not of the elect, you won't be able to receive these truths, and you won't be able to keep keep the laws to the best of your ability. Okay? You won't be able to be delivered. Okay? Because you're not of that number of the people that the Most High ordained to be delivered. All right. And basically, just simply boils down to the fact that Yahweh Shai is not dealing with you. Well, anyway, let's go into something else. Let's not be let's go into something else. The Jake will be Jake, okay? The righteous will be the righteous and the wicked will be the wicked, as this scripture says. That's in the book of Daniel in 12th chapter, okay? And the righteous will do righteously and the wicked shall do wicked, and none of the wicked shall understand, okay? So let me get that. Okay, hold on, book of Daniel. It's hard to get pieces in this physical Bible. Have to flick through pages. Sometimes you go too far. And okay, I'm finally there. So this is the book of Daniel 12. verse 10. Daniel 12, verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Okay, and basically that's what is see happening right now. All right, the wicked of our people, the two-thirds of our people, even the two-thirds that are in this truth, the Most High is slowly bugging them out and casting them out of this truth. So now, only the righteous are staying consistent, staying with the truth, staying with the work, doing the right thing before the presence of Yahweh Shai, alright? Keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, going out to the highways and byways, okay? When the fringes, keeping your head uncovered. And I've said this multiple times, so let me just go to that. Because basically the scriptures say that he that prophesieth with his head covered dishonoreth his head. Let me get that. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians 11, verse 4. Every man praying, 1 Corinthians 11, verse 4. Every man praying, what the hell? 1 Corinthians 11, verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. Okay? That's telling you right there. That's why you keep your head uncovered when you prophesy, when you bring out these truths, man. Okay, you speak with your head uncovered. Okay. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to end this pretty soon. But let me just go into a few more things before I decide to close it out. Alright. So yeah, because there's an order in this truth. Okay. You can't just come in as you are. I these Christians teach. Or when you come into this, you have to get right. You have to get yourself in order. For our Lord Yahweh Shai is not a power of confusion, but of order, as the scripture says, among all the saints. So when you come into this truth, you have to come into this truth in the right state of mind, okay, with the right mindset. And that mindset should be what? To follow and to serve the words of to follow the words of Yahweh Shai, and to serve the Most High Yahweh through His Son Yahweh Shai. So all the things that we're commanded to do, we must do it unfailingly, and of course, and on with joy. Okay. Because joy should be a part of this truth. Okay, joy should be a part of this work that we're doing right now. So this is the book of Psalms 40, verse 8. I delight to do thy will, O my power. Yea, thy law is within my heart. And that's the spirit that we should be in, We should be joyous when it's time to do the will of the Most High, okay? We should be joyous when the Sabbath comes and we can have a day of rest, okay? We should be joyous, okay, in keeping the laws. We should be joyous in doing this work, coming out to the highways and byways, man. Whenever it's camp time, you know how it is. You are excited, you're coming out, okay, to come out and to preach. You come out and do the work. Another day, okay, another week in, week out, okay. when you are doing the videos, I expected me to speak on the word and to prophesy concerning the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know, it's a joy, it's an honor to be able to perform and to do the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm just going to have to end it right here. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushua, Ba'asham Rakah Wadash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit, I hope you actually are class of edified. Shalom.